For those who don't know what the Magna Carta is, what is it and why is it so important?
Well, to understand the Magna Carta, you sort of have to appreciate its context, the context in which it was created. So that requires an understanding of the reign of King John. King John was the son of Henry II. Henry II actually had 3 sons, and John was the favorite son. That did not stop John from conspiring with his brother Richard to put Richard on the throne. Now, Richard is Richard the Lionheart. He was killed during the Crusades, and so John took the throne. Now, John was a heavy-handed and cruel ruler. He was known for treachery and lechery and even murder, and he imposed high taxes. In fact, he instituted income taxes. He imposed import-export duties. He seized property and confiscated lands. He had affairs with noble women and became just very unpopular. He waged expensive wars abroad and, in fact, lost a lot of his ancestral lands in France, in particular in Normandy. And it was while he was off in Normandy trying to recover those lands that a group of barons got together and decided that they were going to meet John with some demands upon his return. So when John returned, he met these barons at Runnymede, which was sort of neutral territory between the lands that John controlled and between the lands that the barons controlled. And the story goes that the barons forced King John to affix his seal to the Magna Carta at that point. Now, the Magna Carta is more powerful as a symbol than it was effective in its own date. It was nullified by the Pope shortly thereafter, and it really reflected a medieval understanding of the relationship between barons and kings. It was not a statement of liberty for the common man. Nevertheless, as a symbol, it is very powerful. It quickens the heart of those who love liberty, and it exhilarates those who believe in inalienable rights that are particular to human beings as sign bearers created by God. The Magna Carta is almost sacrosanct in its expression of individual liberty and the rule of law. And it stands for the proposition that law is antecedent to the king and antecedent to government, and that everyone, no matter their station in life, is bound by the law. So it's from the Magna Carta that we get things like jury trials and habeas corpus and quick and speedy justice and these sorts of things.
So it did have an impact on our U.S. Constitution and our laws.
It absolutely had an impact on our laws. In fact, Americans saw themselves in the Revolution not as people divorcing themselves from the British tradition, but actually people embracing the ancient rights and liberties of Englishmen that were expressed and articulated in the Magna Carta. In fact, the United States Constitution is in some ways a product of the Magna Carta, in that the Magna Carta is Latin for Great Charter. It is this idea that there is a constitutional form of government which is contractual in nature, that binds the government and restrains the government. And that is the idea behind the American Constitution, is that government ought to be restrained by this contract between the people and its government.